Very good morning to all. This lecture is about cloud infrastructure services and the code is TCS 761. Myself, Dr. Sachin Sharma. We are discussing Unit 3, Understanding Service Oriented Architecture, SOA. Overview of SOA. The software services which are used by different enterprises business operation that frequently involves the human computer interface and which is often implemented as web interface using different portals, but it may also involve other interfaces such as machine interfaces for process control, which depends upon the what kind of enterprise business is there. There are specific sets of business processes, services, and interfaces which are created in the context of the supporting infrastructure as service-based solution, and where every solution solves the particular business problem. The business operation itself may be organized on the service-oriented principles. Many of the people they believe that the greatest benefit of service-oriented architecture are obtained when it is applied to the business architecture. When SOA is implemented in business architecture, then it is very helpful for the organization. The infrastructure provides the execution environment for the software services, which includes the basic operating system and networking, and also include specific support for software services such as message passing and service discovery. The infrastructure is managed via human computer interfaces by technical staff who are responsible for all aspects of operating the enterprise's information technology, including its availability, performance, and security. The major benefit of service oriented architecture is that it delivers enterprise agility by enabling rapid development and any type of modification of the software which support the business process. The infrastructure also helps to the business operations and other facilities such as business oriented scripting language and model driven implementation tools. And all these facilities support not only the creation of new software service but also modification and replacement of the existing software, or not just for the particular time but it's for the whole service life cycle, and they are used by human computer interfaces by development staff. The infrastructure also provides for storage of enterprise information. The service-oriented architecture can enable easier flow of information within and between two different enterprises. And the information is also not locked up in a specific service as it's often so-called silo application of earlier architecture styles, but it's available to all the software services who require that application. The service orientation may extend to the design of the infrastructure, and many people advocate this, but it is not essential to any service oriented software architecture. It's the view graph of SOA where three main components, two specific operations, business operation and technical operation. And the development and technical operation, they synchronize with the infrastructure associate with software services and business information directly by providing the lifecycle support, execution environment, and the information storage, which is very important for any kind of business. And the lifecycle support is very important if any organization is providing the software service. Execution environment is important in terms of technical development. Also, the feasibility of operating any software is also one of the important aspect in technical operation. So it's an overview of SOA architecture where software service, business information, infrastructure, they are associated to each other to provide the business operation, technical operation, as well as the development. Service oriented architecture, it's boundaryless information flow. It is because the potential for SOA to deliver boundaryless information flow where there is no restriction about the information flow, and it's critically important to the any organization. With service oriented architecture, the applications are replaced by the services that interact with each other, and typically the interaction take place by exchange of message via an enterprise service bus, which is also called ESB within the enterprise, or across the web in the case of external services includes in the enterprise services. Although other form of interaction, even direct invocation of one service by another, so-called hardwiring, may be used. And this style of architecture can be the basis of boundaryless information flow, and we'll discuss that boundaryless information flow in the view graph. So this is the view graph which we talking about. Any information which is related to the procurement services, requirement services, ERP services, design services, and online services, which are happening on the web end, on that is connected to the external space, the customer support, internal space, which consists of assembling, manufacturing, legal, finance, and the external in space, which consists of the procuring. And whatever data is available related to different services through web, it is accessible to the client, to the user, and there is not such boundary exist where the user at other space can't use the other space data or other space facilitation. So that is the boundaryless for SOA, service oriented architecture. There are different features which are provided by SOA. Services, and the benefit of services, it provides improved information flow, which has ability to expose internal functionality. Service reuse feature, which has benefit of lower software development and management cost, and it has supporting infrastructure as a service repository. Next feature is messaging, which has benefit of configuration, the flexibility, and which has messaging program for supporting infrastructure. Next feature is message monitoring, which has benefit of business intelligence, performance measurement, and security attack detection, and which has supporting infrastructure activity monitor. Next feature is message control, which has benefit of application of management policy and application of security policy. PDPs and PPs are the supporting infrastructure. Message transformation has benefit of data translation, and data translator is the supporting infrastructure. Message security has benefit of data confidentiality and integrity, and the supporting infrastructure is encryption engine. Next feature is complex event processing, which facilitate the simplification of software structure, ability to adapt quickly to different external environments, and improve manageability and security. And the event processor is the additional infrastructure. The service composition is next feature, which provide the ability to develop new function combinations rapidly. And the composition engine is infrastructure support. Service discovery provides the ability to optimize performance, functionality, and cost. Easier introduction of system upgrades and service registry is a feature. Asset wrapping, which provides the ability to integrate existing assets. Virtualization provides the improved reliability and ability to scale operation to meet different demand levels. Model driven implementation provides ability to develop new functions rapidly, and model implementation environment is the supporting infrastructure. And here these all features we are talking about SOA, service oriented architecture. Service oriented architecture ontology version 2. So this is kind of improved version of service oriented architecture. It has two specific ways. The first one, it defines the concept, terminology, and semantics of SOA in both business and technical terms in order to create a foundation for further work in domain specific areas. It enables communications between business and technical people. It enhances the understanding of SOA concepts, existing one and the improved one in the business and technical communities. And this 2.0 version provide a means to state problems and opportunities clearly and unambiguously to promote mutual understanding. Second one, SOA 2.0 potentially contributes to model driven SOA implementation. And the very important is the ontology is designed for use by business people to give them a deeper understanding of service oriented architecture concepts and how they are used in the enterprise and its environment. Architects as metadata for architectural artifacts. Architecture methodologists as a component of SOA meta models. And the system and software designers, they can use this SOA 2.0 for guidance in terminology and structure. So this was the brief intro about service oriented architecture 2.0. And that's it for the day. I hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.